Hi, I'm Jane King here at the New York Stock Exchange filming another episode of New to the Street. Since 2009, we've been spotlighting some of the most exciting companies, those preparing to go public and those already trading. Catch our interviews as sponsored programming on Fox Business and Bloomberg Television, or watch on our fastest growing platform, YouTube, at New to the Street TV. Let's get started. Kiton is an Italian clothing brand that has been around for more than 50 years. It is known as a high-quality maker of tailored suits. And with me is Antonio Peone, U.S. President, and Adelaide Afano Peone, Retail Manager. Great to have you here at this New York Stock Exchange. And Antonio, talk about the company's growth for this year.
The company grew in 2023. We grew 20% plus in 2023. For the 2024, we are thinking that we're going to reach 15%.
Okay.
growth.
And you've got 5 factories in Italy.
We have 5 factories in Italy.
Yes.
We produce everything in Italy, all the clothing for men and women, because we have 2 lines, men and women. Plus, we have 41 stores in the world, 200 doors in general, with boutique, with department stores, and
I know very high quality.
very high quality.
Explain that.
We do everything by hand. We are tailor. We have 450 tailors in Naples, and we have a factory where we produce our fabrics too in Biella. So all the fabrics that we have in our collection are exclusive for us. All the finest wool, cashmere, and vicuna. So the thing is that with the way that we made the clothes and the fabrics that we use, we have this secret that we call Kiton.
Now, you are the U.S. President.
Yeah,
Have you
US
thought about a succession plan?
I have 3 nephews and 3 nieces. Everyone has his own position in the company, but she's the one that is very close to me. So when I travel always with her now. So I think one day she's already ready, but one day when I'll be a little bit tired, we already have the one that is gonna take my place.
Adelaide, how do you feel about that?
Well, I'm still in the learning phase. And I think when you're born into a family with such strong feature, like my grandfather was, like my uncle, my mother, my aunt, it's always a bit hard to measure up. But my cousins and I are doing our best every day. So I'm confident that when our time comes, we will achieve great things.
Yeah. And what will be your mission or your aim or kind of your goal when you do take that position?
Well, for sure, I want the latest collection to grow. I think there's great potential there, and increase the number of stores we have in the U.S. market. And let's see.
And stay true to the brand, I think, too, because you've built such an amazing brand. Antonio, you've talked about an IPO. Where does that stand?
Well, it's something that we have in mind. Maybe one day, but for the moment, it's not the right moment to go there.
Yeah.
But it's something that we are thinking.
What kind of circumstances or environment would you like to go public?
We are waiting the right moment.
And so in between now and then, what are your goals for the company?
For me, the most important is the products. We have to invest a lot in the product, because now more and more the customers, they are tired to buy, let's say, an etiquette. They want to buy quality. So for me, it's very important that we push as much as we can the products. Now we have this new capsule collection in Bird of a Good in New York. We just launched it. It's called 745. It's exclusive for Bird of a Goodman, only leather. Even with the leather, it's made by hand with the finest fabrics, because this leather is combined with the vicuna, cashmere vicuna, leather and cashmere vicuna. There are 5 pieces: a long coat, a field jacket, a vest, a bomber, and a normal jacket in leather. In 2 colors, black and brown.
Sounds lovely.
Yeah. It's go and check on Bird of a Good. We have 2 windows. They dedicate 2 windows to us, so we are very
It's very exciting.
Thank you so much, Antonio and Adelaide.
Thank you. Thank you for having
Grazie.
us.
Thanks.
Attention investors. Acurex Pharmaceuticals trades on the NASDAQ ACXP, is leading the fight against antibiotic-resistant infections with next-gen small molecule antibiotics. Targeting the $1.7 billion U.S. market for C. difficile, Acurex is driving innovation in a global health crisis. This is one stock to watch. Is ACXP an opportunity for your portfolio? Find out more at New to the Street.
Synergy is a consumer products company with some well-known brands, and with me is the CEO, Jack Ross, to talk about the company, Synergy. So explain what some of your brands are that are under your umbrella.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. Synergy CHC Corp is really a consumer healthcare company that we're building on the public market on the NASDAQ. We have 8 brands under our portfolio today. Our 2 main brands that people will recognize is Focus Factor, been on the market for a long time, has a strong clinical study that supports improvement for memory, concentration, and focus. It's distributed widely at retail, Costco for 14 years, Walmart for 18 years, mostly most grocery stores and drugstores. So a brand that people will recognize with solid science.
Yeah. So let's talk about Focus Factor for a second. I know you said there's some testing, some clinical science behind it. Explain that.
Yeah, certainly in the brain health space, it's the number one thing that consumers worry about as they age. So science is very important. And I would encourage consumers to do their research on science, as, not all clinicals are created equal. Our clinical, our claims come directly from the clinical study, improves memory, concentration, and focus. And the clinical study has been done on all 52 ingredients. So it's synergistically, it knows how all the formula works together.
Okay.
Where some of our competitors, it isn't done that way. It's 1 or 2 ingredients that's been clinically studied, and then they add some more ingredients, but really they don't know how they work together. So science matters, and please do your homework.
Okay. And you explained that you're starting to expand this brand. So explain that new product.
Yeah. So in the last year or so, we've been watching the phenomenon on functional beverages. That's been coming out, the Celsius story, the Poppy stories, those type of things. And then, we're looking at brain health, and we're saying focus and energy for our Focus Factor brand. And we were lucky enough to have long-term relationships with our retailers like Costco. And we asked them if we could do a pilot in their stores in the Texas regions, which we did, and it was very successful. So we're going to be bringing a product to market in a big way later in the 3rd quarter and 4th quarter with our ready-to-drink product, Focus and Energy, under the Focus Factor brand.
Okay. And then what are you seeing, like, in terms of trends and consumers? What kind of things are they buying? What's the environment?
So when you look at, the spaces we're in, vitamins and supplement space, and you sort of look at what's really trending, it is brain health. Brain health is growing at about double the rate of vitamins and supplements. So projected CAGR in vitamins and supplements are about 4.9%, where all the latest numbers coming out on brain health are double-digit growth projected in, the bunch of years to come. As well as when we look at our functional beverage that we're ready to roll out, functional beverages and drinkable format have a double-digit growth projection as well.
And you have a lot of weight loss products. How has GLP-1 kind of craze, popularity, how has that impacted you?
So there's a lot of new interest on products that can support post-GLP-1 support after they're done with that. And Flat Tummy has those products.
Just like keeping the weight off, I guess, is
correct.
The focus of those.
Correct.
Okay, so what's in the future then for Synergy?
So Synergy, we went public in October. We've got big expansion plans, not only with the brands domestically and the rollouts of our ready-to-drink products. We're going to be growing internationally with our Costco relationship into Taiwan, into Australia, into Mexico, those territories, and we look at that really as our anchor tenants. So when we're lucky enough to grow with those type of names, then most major retailers follow. So we've got quite a growth curve ahead of us.
Yeah. Okay. Jack, thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Attention investors. Acurex Pharmaceuticals trades on the NASDAQ ACXP, is leading the fight against antibiotic-resistant infections with next-gen small molecule antibiotics. Targeting the $1.7 billion U.S. market for C. difficile, Acurex is driving innovation in a global health crisis. This is one stock to watch. Is ACXP an opportunity for your portfolio? Find out more at New to the Street.
Oh, honey, I forgot to tell you, my parents are coming into town tonight for dinner. I'm thinking steaks.
Luckily, Bob bookmarked Commercialville.tv, the internet's only truly localized zip code-enabled video search engine that helps you find businesses right in your own neighborhood.
By the way, baby, my parents became vegans.
My mom isn't crazy about beards.
Tell me you have something else to wear. Now that's what I'm talking about.
Wherever you are, whatever you need, Commercialville.tv's got you covered. We're globally local.
HIT is pushing the boundaries of what is achievable in health insurance. And with me is the Chief Growth Officer, Dustin Planthold, to talk about your role in the company and your background. Let's start with that. Give me your background. What brought you to HIT?
Well, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. I'm a big fan, Jane. You have a great show. For the past 20 years, I've been working with companies, helping them navigate let's be honest, a really complicated space, employee benefits and emerging technology. I joined Health and Tech back in March as the Chief Growth Officer. What grabbed me was pretty simple. Health and Tech is taking on some of the most broken parts of the system, health insurance. And we're coming at it with transparency, emerging technology, your area, and a mission to really make things better for businesses and their people. I saw a shot to be part of something bold, and I decided to jump on board.
So walk me through the company's strategy. How does it work exactly?
So our focus is on making self-funded insurance simple and fast. No paperwork, no headaches, no waiting. We want to give employers instant quotes, make it easy for them to manage their benefits their way. This isn't about selling insurance, Jane. It's about moving employers off the menu and giving them a legit seat at the table. We're not doing it alone. We partnered with some incredible people to make it happen. Folks like Chad Huff at Hilb, David Bailey at Bailey Insurance, a 140-year-old insurance agency, Cindy and Bruce at 90 Degree Benefits, and over 450 other brokers and partners across North America. Our strategy is simple. To help companies improve outcomes, to help them lower the cost of their healthcare. Their only options have been in the past to stay in the traditional fully insured arena. They get rate hikes every time the government passes a new legislative bill. The rates go up when certain communities or cultures or regions start to have certain problems. And we thought that was quite unfair. And that is what Health and Tech was designed for. It was designed to bring the power back to the employer, from the employers of 10 lives to 10,000 lives, giving them the ability to do it a different way.
So, Ed, you have just joined the board of HIT, Health and Tech. Tell me about your background and what drew you to HIT.
So I have been involved for quite some time in investments on a number of different industries, and health tech and insurance has been an area that I've been specifically interested in. The innovation and the interesting new developments that this company is taking is something that really interested me. It's an entrepreneurial endeavor. It's a different game changer, and I think it's going to be something that really introduces something to the market that many entrepreneurs are long awaiting for.
And you have been a former U.S. ambassador to Switzerland and Liechtenstein. So you've got this diplomatic experience. How does that help? What do you bring to the table with that, with HIT?
Well, I think, being an ambassador in Switzerland, there are many, many insurance companies in Switzerland. So I'm very familiar with the insurance industry, very familiar with the competitiveness of it and some of the market changes that are arising in the arena. But also having those diplomatic skills and those relationships around the world, I think it gives me a unique opportunity to give perspective to the board and perspective to the management team to see innovative ways of approaching the company.
Yeah. And Dustin, I know AI is a part of the business, and explain how that works.
So we hear people use that word artificial intelligence or automation, and they believe that they're giving some sort of outcome. We don't promise we're delivering. We're able to do, I like to refer to it as like a bit of a Harry Potter kind of magic. And we're providing bindable quotes, underwritten quotes, in under 10 minutes to employers and to their broker partners. It's fast, it's accurate, and we designed it to scale alongside of the company. So AI is one of the many things that we've been incorporating from the emerging tech space to be able to change the way it had been done in the past, for us to be able to lower the cost for these employers that for many of them, their health insurance program, their employee benefits has been the second biggest line item. And we believe it's time to give them back their power, to power up their health plan.
Now, you were ambassador under President Trump, and he has talked about, in fact, implemented some early big changes in healthcare. How does HIT align with what the president is trying to do?
Well, I think what HIT aligns with is finding ways for entrepreneurs to have access to insurance in an affordable way and produce opportunities for their workers and ensure that it's done efficiently. This is a cutting edge new technology. It's a new market. And I think this is the kind of thing the president, as a businessman, understands extremely well is of value to the U.S. economy as we see increased investment and increased opportunities for entrepreneurs to use these kinds of marketplace options. It's really an option that is extremely productive and attractive for a U.S. industry.
Yeah. Ed and Dustin, thank you so much for coming and sharing your thoughts on HIT.
Thank you. Thank you
so much, Jane.
There are over 83 million dogs and 50 million cats in the U.S. Up to 80% of senior cats and dogs can suffer from osteoarthritis. Spring is helping treat them and is now available in all 50 states and over 800 veterinarian clinics. Learn more at newtothestreet.com. PetVivo, a publicly traded company, ticker symbol PETV. Attention investors. Acurex Pharmaceuticals, trades on the NASDAQ ACXP, is leading the fight against antibiotic-resistant infections with next-gen small molecule antibiotics. Targeting the $1.7 billion U.S. market for C. difficile, Acurex is driving innovation in a global health crisis. This is one stock to watch. Is ACXP an opportunity for your portfolio? Find out more at New to the Street.
Hello, everyone. Today we're here with Michael Berg, CFO of Barber Racing. Hi, Michael. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Pleasure to be here at the New York Exchange. Thank you.
So first of all, can you just give us a brief introduction about yourself, what you do, and also introduction history of Barber?
I'd be happy to. I'm the CFO of Barber Racing School. Incredibly exciting company, world-renowned, famous. Everywhere we go, people recognize us and our talents in our school. I've been here about 2 years, and we've noticed an incredible amount of growth in the last 2 years. So it necessitated not only myself, but other professionals as well to come in and help the company. So we're in a fantastically strong position as a company right now.
So how many campuses do you have across the United States?
So we don't actually own any racetracks. What we do is the race training. We can train anyone to race a car. So back about 50 years ago, when Skip Barber himself, we call him Skip Barber the man.
John Skip Barber, right?
Yes. And when he started this school, he was a tremendously successful race car driver. And many of you out there will know him.
Yeah, I heard about him before.
Right. And so he had a saying that he could teach anyone to race a car. And he set out to structure a way of training anyone from people like us all the way up to top pros to race in race cars.
Yeah.
That's the basis for who we are today, 50 years later.
So right now, is Skip Barber the largest car racing schools across the United States?
In the world.
In the world.
There's no other racing school that has our logistics, our number of cars, our training sessions. No one. There's no one like us.
You're so proud of your logistics. Can you elaborate on that?
We got 9 tractor trailers that move our cars around to the 8 iconic tracks in our country and beyond, because we sometimes use additional tracks. And we know where those cars are and where those trucks are every minute of every day. And they travel a lot of miles. Cross country, California to Texas, Texas to Virginia, Virginia to California, up to Connecticut, down to Florida. We're logistically brilliant, operationally brilliant.
So I know Skip Barber hold a lot of corporate events, team building events. So with other corporations, can you elaborate on that?
Well,
how should they contact you?
That's a great question. We've just recently been in contact with several groups that create corporate events for corporations, obviously. And we invite them to incorporate our program and our processes into their offerings to their clients. Contact us at skipbarber.com. We'll show you how to do it. Add it to the various different things you're doing now, the fishing trips and everything else. You'll be a hero and we'll be able to participate.
Okay, thank you so much. Is there anything else you would like to share with our audience in Asia?
Come to America and drive with us, or bring us out to help you drive in Asia.
Is your garden struggling to stay hydrated? Meet Waterless Garden, the organic solution that saves water and boosts your garden's health. Packed with humus materials and trillions of beneficial microbes, Waterless Garden improves soil structure and increases water retention. Use less water, get better results, and watch your garden thrive. Waterless Garden. Less water, more life.
Oh, honey, I forgot to tell you, my parents are coming into town tonight for dinner. I'm thinking steaks.
Luckily, Bob bookmarked Commercialville.tv, the internet's only truly localized zip code-enabled video search engine that helps you find businesses right in your own neighborhood.
By the way, baby, my parents became vegans.
My mom isn't crazy about beards.
Tell me you have something else to wear.
Now that's what I'm talking about.
Wherever you are, whatever you need, Commercialville.tv's got you covered. We're globally local.
LightPath is a leading provider of next-generation optics and imaging systems for both defense and commercial applications. So with me is CEO Sam Rubin. Sam, great to get caught up on what LightPath has been doing. And let's start with that acquisition in February of G5 Infrared. Tell me about that and why that was important for the business.
Great. Good to be here again, Jane, and thanks for having me over. Yeah, LightPath over the last 5 years has been in a transition from a pure component company that was really, on the low end of the complexity of products, if you would, making individual lenses and components very commoditized with a lot of price pressure, to become a vertically integrated manufacturer of systems, of imaging systems. The acquisition of G5 is a major step in that way. G5 Infrared is a leading company in making infrared or thermal cameras, if you would, for long-range imaging, detection of objects from a very far distance. And with the acquisition of G5, LightPath is going to nearly double its size this year and add some very significant product lines that today, with everything going on in the geopolitics and the defense world, is key to a lot of the growth needed in the market.
Very interesting. And then the border as well is one area that you're working in, the G5 cameras. So explain what they can do at the borders.
Yeah, so G5 provides Elbit of America the cameras that go onto towers along the border. And so this project has been in the works for a few years now. And with the current administration, the indication is that it's going to grow even further. The goal of this project is to have unmanned towers every few miles along the border that are constantly looking for incoming potential cars or individuals coming near to the border to potentially cross the border or do some threat. And so these systems are going to integrate AI in them, and are going to integrate some offline ability to work and constantly monitor and stare at the border or even beyond the border to detect those threats, but without needing a person sitting there watching the monitors all the time. Because when you're talking about something as big as our southern border or even our northern border, you're talking about hundreds of cameras. You can't have people sitting there watching hundreds of monitors 24/7. It just doesn't work. So AI is going to play a major role there. And again, a place where the G5 cameras are going to play a major role in providing the technical ability to even see what's going on.
Wow, Sam, absolutely fascinating how you're on the cutting edge of all these changes geopolitically and how technology is playing in the future for defense as well. So really interesting.
It's an incredible time to be where we are. And we're so lucky that we've become a company that just 5 years ago, 8% of our revenue was defense. And now it is over 60% and growing. And so we're at the right place at the right time.
All right, Sam, thank you so much for updating us. And I look forward to the next time we speak.
Thank you, Jade.
Thank you.